how would you rate living in Taiwan? So 1 out of 10.
I think 8. I think one of my favorite things is how people are very considerate and thoughtful.
Do you speak Mandarin?
I do speak Mandarin. Yeah, I'm actually half Taiwanese.
那你的中文是跟家人学的吗？
对，我是在维也纳出生长大，然后我在维也纳就跟我妈妈，然后妈妈在家里就跟我讲中文。
How would you rate living in Taiwan? And 1 out of 10?
Okay, so definitely a 10. There are so many great things. One is the level of English. You can always find somebody who speaks English. I happen to speak Mandarin, so that makes it a little bit easier to get along.
Thank you so much for your time. And the first question, where are you from and how long have you been here?
I'm from Austria. I was born and raised in Vienna, and I've been living in Asia since 2015, and in Taiwan full-time since 3 years ago.
What brought you to Taiwan in the first place?
Work. I was working in Hong Kong before, and I would fly around between Taiwan and Hong Kong. And then I decided to come here, and just in time because right after I came to Taiwan, the pandemic started. So I was stuck here basically, but I feel like it was a good place to be stuck in.
I see. Can I know what do you do?
I'm in modeling.
Because you have been here for a couple years, right? So how would you rate living in Taiwan? So 1 out of 10. What about the good thing and the bad thing?
Wow, 1 out of 10. This is hard.
No, I just want you to be honest. Yeah.
Sure. I think 8. I think there are a lot of things that are incredibly they're very comfortable about living in Taiwan. I feel very safe. The environment is very safe, and it's a beautiful place. I think one of my favorite things is how people are very considerate and thoughtful. Yeah. It always seems like people are looking out for each other, and people tend to be very humble and honest and straightforward. And if you lose something, every day when I walk around, I see keys and wallets, and people just pick them up and put them on the side. So if you lose something, you come back a few hours later, it's probably still there. Yeah. So oh my God, I love that so much.
What about the bad part? Because it's still not perfect, right? It's no perfect country, but I want to talk about like a more specific, like bad part of Taiwan. Or have you ever experienced like bad experience, something like that?
Yes, of course, and you're completely right. No country is actually perfect. Everything has got its pros and cons. I feel like sometimes in Taiwan, I feel a bit isolated from people. I feel like it's very hard to get into groups because they seem to have been established from very early on, and people like to stay within their circles, it seems to me. Usually I feel like everywhere I go, people look at me like I'm the first foreigner they see, like even now in 2022, you know, people look at like, oh my God, look, 外国人, oh my God.
Usually ask the question, do you speak Mandarin?
I do speak Mandarin. Yeah, I'm actually half Taiwanese. So.
你的中文有到母语者的水平吗？
我觉得还好，应该是英文比较强，所以刚刚讲英文我会比较。
你的中文是跟家人学的吗？
对，我是在维也纳出生长大，然后我在维也纳就跟我妈妈，然后妈妈在家里就跟我讲中文。可是就白天在外面上学的时候，然后奥地的家人跟奥地的朋友沟通，我们都是用德文。
Thank you so much for your time. Where are you from and how long have you been here?
I'm from Chicago in the US, and I've been here 4.5 years.
So what brought you to Taiwan in the first place?
I lived in Asia before, then I moved to Europe, and I wanted to come back to Asia, so I felt like Taiwan was a good way to do that.
How would you rate living in Taiwan as your opinion?
For me, I have a pretty easy and comfortable lifestyle. Compared to like living in the States, I think I wouldn't be able to have the same lifestyle in the States as I do here. And also, I like nature. I like doing things outside. And like I said, it's easy to do those things. Just get on the bus, maybe an hour or so, and you're at those locations. So for being comfortable, I would say 8.5.
How's your life so far?
I love it in Taiwan. It's a great place to live. Taipei is just a very livable city, and my kids love it here.
How would you rate living in Taiwan? And 1 out of 10. So can you also tell about the good thing and bad thing?
Okay, so definitely a 10. There are so many great things. One is the level of English. You can always find somebody who speaks English. I happen to speak Mandarin, so that makes it a little bit easier to get along. There's beautiful, untouched nature mountains to climb, beautiful shoreline. The food's amazing here. 8 markets where you can try the traditional Chinese Taiwan foods. I'm really trying to search for something bad. It's I can't. It is kind of hard to find some of the foods from your own country. So you just have to create it on your own. I haven't been able to find blue cheese dressing, so I just make that at home. But very few negatives that I can even think about.